So I'd like to welcome you to Glasgow. We're delighted to be joined by you today. COP26 is a landmark moment. We've come so far since the Paris Agreement in 2015, and the conversation about climate change has shifted dramatically. Now, governments, public businesses are fully in support of the drive to net zero, and our economy is changing at pace as we adapt our operations to be more climate friendly. The BCC is passionate about ensuring that our members can take advantage of the amazing opportunities the transition to net zero provides, and in showcasing the amazing work that our members are doing to adapt and innovate. That's why we've launched a campaign this year called Chambers Unite to a Greener Future. This global campaign is the first time we've engaged members globally and domestically to amplify one core message, that we care about the planet and that we want to be at the forefront of the transition to net zero. We've heard amazing stories from businesses in our network at home and around the world across several sectors, hearing about the cutting-edge work that you've been doing, driving practical support for other businesses to start their net zero journey. That campaign has brought Chambers together, distilling information in one place and amplifying it, and that's why we're here today, to share experience and knowledge and to work together on this most important of goals. The BCC has a fantastic programme of events lined up for us over the next few days, and we're really excited to hear from an array of amazing speakers with different experience and expertise from right across society. I'm sure we'll learn a great deal from them and from each other as well. We hope that this week is just the beginning of this work. It is the one most important challenge that we face, and it is vital that we work together to ensure that the net zero economy is one that works for all of us together. It gives me great pleasure to be joined by the SCC Chair, Tim Allen, and I'm going to hand over to him now.
Thanks, ladies and gentlemen. I won't stand by a lectern because I'm even more carbon friendly than carbon neutral. I have no notes whatsoever. In fact, I have no idea what I'm going to say until I stand up. So I thought I'd just give you a quick warm welcome to Scotland. This is the finest country in the world, as you all know, of course, and we are part of the United Kingdom. So the Scottish Chambers of Commerce works alongside British Chambers of Commerce in distinctly different constitutional arrangements up here. For those of you who know Britain, you will forgive me. For those of you who don't know Britain, remember Scotland is one of the four nations of the United Kingdom, and we have a very distinctive, different kind of governmental structure up here. So Scotland has its own ambitions towards net zero and towards a brighter and greener, more environmentally sustainable future. And they are working on that. It's a challenge for Scotland, given its history in the last 40 years. It's a hydrocarbon-based economy with a great deal of oil and gas expertise and energy coming from the North Sea fields, which have served the country so well for so long. So I think my observation here is to congratulate the British Chambers of Commerce for convening us all together and the programme you have for this week. But also to ask us all to reflect on what we're doing here. Actually, Alistair, on my table, lunch, Canada, asked me that question, why are you here? Why are any of us in this room? So I reckon there's two reasons why we're here. Two reasons why we come this week, sitting from a Chambers of Commerce perspective. The first of those is to network fiercely. Alistair was fiercely offering me the services of his business. Yeah, you don't see that as a good card. The basic one they do is they help advise SMEs on how they can audit their emissions, and that prepares them for the future requirements, incentives from governments for keeping emissions down. So that's the kind of conversation that gets me thinking about what we can do in the Chambers network and what happens within Scotland. So that kind of catalysis for ideas is what this is here for. So we all meet to share views from different countries. There are distinctive differences, but also the many similarities we have. And the second reason, beyond business, is our role in Chambers of Commerce to influence the policymakers who are here convened in Glasgow this week. They're going to come up with some high-level strategic stuff, which is great. But we all want a greener world, and we all want cleaner oceans, we all want climate to stop.
Tim. It now gives me great pleasure to hand over to our Director General, Siobhan Haviland.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm delighted to welcome you to the British Chambers of Commerce wide-ranging programme of events over the next 4 days. We look forward to meeting many of you, hearing about the work you're doing to make your businesses resilient to climate change and take advantage of the economic opportunities that transition provides. A huge thank you to Glasgow City College. I think we'll all agree this is a really beautiful spot, and the staff have been amazingly excellent. So thank you to the college, and many thanks to the Bank of Scotland team who are over there as our sponsors for the event, allowing us to have this really exciting programme of events. So we're thrilled to be able to present to you a really full programme, hearing from speakers on a wide range of topics, from energy to buildings to trade and finance. We already started this morning with a panel around women and green trade. Amongst others, we had the Shadow Secretary of State, Emily Thornberry, who told us that it was not about trade plus X, but that we should start with the SDGs and work from there, because that will give us a much better integrated plan. So we started high. All our events are designed with our networks in mind, and we really look forward to hearing from all of you. So I'm not going to say climate change is the most important issue facing all our societies, because that's why you're here. You already know that. But actually, polls are finding consistently in the UK that it's the public's number one concern, and that as businesses, we need to listen to our consumers and our customers and what they're saying. So achieving net zero by the middle of the century will undoubtedly be a monumental challenge. And while it comes with its difficulties, of course, it does present opportunities to do the things that business do best: innovate, create jobs, upskill, and generate wealth across our regions and nations. And at the BCC, at the British Chambers, we're committed to playing our part in that challenge. So our role is to face in two ways. Firstly, we're working with government to advocate for that green transition and harness the power of businesses, and push government to provide that stable policy and market environment so that businesses can act confidently and quickly. And on the other hand, we're here to support the amazing work you, as businesses, do to raise awareness of the challenges and opportunities of climate change for business and help businesses of all sizes to get to net zero. At the start of 2021, in the UK, there were about 5.5 million SMEs, which is over 90% of UK businesses. Over 60% of the working population, and about 50% of UK turnover. But globally, SMEs represent 95% of firms and about 70% of employment. So that's a significant part of our economy and the global economy. And SMEs are really at the forefront of that interaction between business and climate change. However, our research is showing that just 11% of SMEs in the UK measure their carbon footprint, even though they also tell us that over 50% of their customers state that the environment is the most important thing to them. So what's stopping them do what their customers are asking for? It won't surprise you to know that it's cost. So 30%, which is the highest number, claim that lack of finance is holding them back. Time and time again, we've seen around the world it's the private sector that's driven action on climate change before governments through amazing technological advancements, innovation, resource use, biodiversity, and green investment choices. And that will continue. But as net zero targets become more ambitious, we really need the government to provide meaningful support to businesses of all sizes, but particularly SMEs. As we said, SMEs who want to take action are prevented to by lack of finance. particularly hard at the moment as we emerge from a really hard 18 months, and those SMEs face into other issues that we've seen every day, from raw material costs to shipping prices to the price of energy. It's estimated by the UK Climate Change Committee that capital investment in net zero technologies in the UK needs to scale up from about 10 billion a year to around 50 billion a year by 2030. And that's 9 and a bit years away. So the scale of the challenge is enormous, and SMEs need the right policy environment and the right financial support from government to act confidently. So, I think what it is most important for us here is that COP26 is just the beginning of our collaboration. At the British Chambers of Commerce, we will be keeping up the momentum through research, through events, through our advocacy and campaigns, through our policy work, but crucially through practical tools like our Net Zero Hub and signposting our members and businesses to grants and finance. We're really looking forward to working with members and businesses across the network to ensure that the green transition is one that harnesses the potential of all UK businesses. So we'd like to wish you all a very successful COP26, and thank you for being with us today.